Dear students, good afternoon. In today's lab, we are going to look at the Node MCU board. So far, we have been learning how to interface sensors onto an Arduino board and use it. Now, Arduino is okay, but when it comes to communication, Arduino needs a lot of external peripherals. So we are looking for a single board solution which contains all the necessary communication things apart from the protocols that is available on Arduino. So there comes a need for connecting everything to the internet. So we would like to have Wi-Fi support for our end devices. So it's a good way for any computing system as it opens plenty of new possibilities. And we know that internet is available everywhere. So it makes a lot of sense if you could connect your equipment to the internet with minimal hardware. That is how Node MCU comes to the scene. Informally, Node MCU is equal to Arduino plus Wi-Fi. That's an informal equation. There are a lot more things about that. We will see them one by one. So let us see the details of the Node MCU board. I'm sorry, last minute engineer, yes. So let us have a quick review of the ESP8266 based Node MCU. So this is a embedded computing board with a Wi-Fi SoC, system on chip. So you can program the same way you do for Arduino and have the Wi-Fi connectivity. So this is known as the ESP12E chip, which contains the Wi-Fi signal receiving antennas, boosters and all such things. And it is a very powerful chip when compared to Arduino. Arduino was a 8-bit Atmega 328 controller, but here this is a 10 silica 32-bit processor, and then the clock speed is also much high. Arduino was working maximum up to 16 megahertz. Here it is a very high speed processor. You have 4 MB of flash, and moreover what is the highlight is it has got Wi-Fi transceiver built onto it. So this is an open source hardware. You can get all the design documents, schematics, etc. so that you can even make a Node MCU board if required. So operating voltage, all details are given in this page. I'll share the link to this page in the description so that you can have a look at it and make notes about the important peripherals available. We have got ADC, UART, PWM, all the protocols interfaced. It has digital audio protocol, I2S audio protocol also is there. And there are two switches available and two onboard one LED is also available. So you can try the blinking code without connecting to any other device, or you can have the button to be used without having an external button. So what is the purpose of these two buttons? RST button. RST button, as the name suggests, it is used for resetting the device. So the moment you press, it starts all the way from the beginning of the code loaded into it. So flash button is used to program this. That means when you press the flash button, there is a inbuilt program known as bootloader. It starts running. The role of bootloader is to look at the USB port and listen if somebody is trying to program. If somebody is trying to program, he will receive that program and put it into the chip. If not, he continues executing whatever is there in the processor. So flash button will put the chip onto bootloader mode, where it starts listening to the serial communication port and then receives the program and puts into the flash memory. So you may be asking, sir, you talked about serial communication, but there is no serial communication on the board. What we see is a USB. But understand that the underlying protocol is RS-232 serial communication, which happens over the USB. So there is a chip known as CPC2102, which acts as a bridge between USB and the serial communication. So externally it is USB signal, but internally it is serial communication, and the communication is bridged, or the conversion is done by the CPC2102 USB UART bridge. So bridge connects USB and UART. UART stands for Universal Asynchronous Receiver Transceiver, which works according to RS-232 signaling. So that is there to convert it. So you will have to download the driver sometimes to get your board communicate to the Windows. So you can download the driver from here, and this is the pin out, what are the GPIO ports, etc. So all these things are available in our lab manual also. So let's go ahead. We will find the pin details for wiring it up, and as usual we can use the Blink program. So how to develop program? So developing programs for ESP8266 can be done in different ways. You can use Espresso, Mongoose OS is there, EULA script is there, etc. So what we are trying is, we will try to program NodeMCU with Arduino, because we are all familiar with Arduino after the first few lab sessions. So the first step would be download the latest Arduino. By default, Arduino will not have support for the NodeMCU board. So you have to instruct the Arduino board to get the libraries from the internet by providing the link. So that is done like this. You have to open the Arduino board, go to File, Preferences. There is a link for getting additional libraries or additional boards. So this link I will give you in the description board. You have to just paste it over here. So this tells the Arduino that if he wants to get more libraries on any additional boards, check this URL. Okay. Now after giving this, you have to go to Tools, the board manager. This is the place where we have to get the board library updated. Now when I launched it is updating. For me it's already updated. So here you have to type ESP82, then immediately shows what are the ESP8266 based communities. In my case it is installed. If it is not installed, you will have an install button. Since I have already installed, for me it's an update button. If you click update, it will start downloading all the platform required things automatically. It will take some time and your IDE will be ready to flash programs onto ESP8266 based things. Now from this point onwards, the story is as similar as that of Arduino, nothing different. So that's how we get started with IDE, and it's here in this page also you have the links, and you have an Arduino Blink program. It shows with screenshot and all. So this, your first task will be to get it blinking. Okay, it tells you that your compiler is working, board is working, cable is working. So it's a test that all the tool chain is working properly. So after this, what you have to do, you have to refer our lab manual. It contains, I'll share you one more lab manual for additional information. We have a full-fledged lab manual prepared in our college. Also, I'll share you another lab manual which contains a lot of example programs using Wi-Fi, etc. So you can play simple exercises like this. You can control your NodeMCU through your phone, your computer. Most of your homes will have Wi-Fi, isn't it? Now NodeMCU also becomes a part of your Wi-Fi. You can do interesting things with Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi on the NodeMCU. Okay, so keep exploring what you can do, how you can explore, get the sensor values and post it onto the internet. So by the next week, your task will be to explore the possibilities of NodeMCU board by connecting to Wi-Fi, LED blinking, lot of stuffs, and you will get numerous support from the internet, and we are also here to support you. With this, you must play around with NodeMCU board. Okay, so your target would be how to push the data from NodeMCU to internet. You can create some web pages and how to have the web page filled up by the NodeMCU. Likewise, you can see lot of example programs are there. You can find about it and then learn. So that's about today's lab. So I'll share some documents in the Amble and also on the description link below. You can download it and have fun. Okay, thank you.